Stuart Hosey for the SNP. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's talk about disinformation, social media during this campaign, because we had the Shadow Health Secretary Wes Streeting on the programme on Monday. Let's catch up with our disinformation and social media correspondent Mariana Spring, who's been investigating all of this. She joins us there from the Verify screens. What have you found, Mariana?
Hiya, thanks for having me. And I'm going to be talking about that clip of Wes Streeting in a second. But let me first tell you a little bit about the undercover voters. So the undercover voters are 24 fictional people I created based on analysis by the National Centre for Social Research. They've got social media profiles across all of the main sites, and they give me an insight into what's recommended on different people's feeds. The profiles are private, they don't have any friends, so they don't mislead people. And what's been happening? Well, I've been examining the feeds of some of my undercover voters who are based in Halifax, which is one of the battleground, not in Halifax, sorry. Oh no, they are based in Halifax, which is one of the battleground constituencies.
All right, we'll stick with Halifax.
Here you go. Battleground constituencies that I've been analysing. So there are 3 undercover voters in each. And let's meet the characters. So we've got Kieran, who is feeling quite disillusioned about politics. He's in his 20s. We've got 71-year-old Patricia. She's kind of interested in politics, not sure how she feels. And 44-year-old Mariam, who's really not that into politics at all. And it's Kieran's profile on X that has been particularly interesting this week. So I've been investigating a group of profiles on the site, which we used to call Twitter. I spotted coming up on Kieran's feed. They've been sharing and amplifying several doctored or deep-faked clips of politicians and then adding supportive comments, giving the impression the clip is real. Patricia has also been seeing some posts which are reused old clips of politicians that are critical of politicians for expressing support for Palestinians, and these have included abusive and Islamophobic remarks in the comments, but I haven't found any evidence of a similar network of accounts doing the same thing. So let's talk about the clips that Kieran has seen. One of the videos shows Labour Shadow Health Secretary Wes Streeting on Politics Live on Monday, as you say, and you were discussing the prominent Black Labour politician Diane Abbott, and this clip, which has been edited, suggests that Mr Streeting said "silly woman" under his breath. Those words, as you know, were never said in the broadcast. What's been particularly interesting is the way then other users swarmed to the comments to endorse the clip as real. So one account going by the name of Murray falsely claimed to be a Politics Live floor manager, saying this is legit. They've commented similar things on other posts, and then there was someone else suggesting the episode had been pulled from iPlayer, which just wasn't the case at all. Now, Wes Streeting's not the only politician who's been targeted by clips in this way. Some of the clips make inflammatory remarks related to the war in Gaza. So as well as Mr Streeting, they've targeted Labour candidate Luke Akehurst and Labour leader Keir Starmer. They've also targeted Reform UK leader Nigel Farage. And some of their fake clips, like this one, are clearly absurd and satirical. But there are others that really falsely portray candidates, saying politically damaging things, while in the comments, the network of users then work to make them appear believable. Some of the ex-users pointed out they believed these clips to be faked. Some responded with abusive remarks, and others were clearly confused about what to believe. There's one person I messaged who said they thought that clip of Wes Streeting could be real, and they described these tactics as really damaging. The clips have even led politicians like Wes Streeting to actually come out and denounce them and say this did not happen. Now, the BBC's identified some of the users responsible for these videos who describe their approach as a form of trolling, so posting large amounts of ironic, low-effort content to derail productive discussion, distract people, provoke a reaction. And some appear to coordinate their posts on a Discord server. So that's an instant messaging and chat community Discord. At least 2 of the people I've tracked down appear to be in their 20s and 30s, based in the UK. One of them is this Men for Wes account, which declined to request to speak on the phone and declined to disclose their identity. They told me they aimed to provoke attention and muddy the waters for viewers, and they described this as corrective to the way that politicians misrepresent who they really are. They rejected allegations that they were a threat to democracy and condemned hate targeted at politicians. I reached out to X about this because several hours after these clips were originally shared, they were labelled by X's reader-operated fact-check service as not being true, and they had a warning applied to some of them as well.
All right.
And following this investigation, the Men for Wes account has since been suspended. It's been taken down, as has the content they shared. Some of the other accounts have been removed. X didn't reply to my request for comment, but they do say how defending and respecting the user's voice is one of their key values.
Mariana Spring, thank you very much, and very sinister. I mean, just briefly, Sarah, do you want to respond, or all the politicians, but very briefly?
Well, obviously, we know that new technology, AI, has huge potential and can do really good things, and we know that's the case. But we have to make sure we've got binding regulation of the companies that are developing AI, and that's something that Labour want to bring in. The Conservatives haven't. We can see right in front of us why that's important for democracy, for our safety, and for our future.
How worried are you?
Very worried. This is deeply disturbing that Wes Streeting and others have been targeted in this way. We've all got to call it out. We are looking at how to regulate AI, but it's also up to the platforms, people like Twitter, people like Facebook and so on, to use their own technology to identify this fake content and immediately remove it proactively themselves, not waiting for a BBC journalist to contact them. It's on them as well to keep this stuff off of the public square.
Well, which is why, of course, we've done this.
But, the Conservatives have not really done enough around this. I've been talking in Parliament about, ensuring that creative content can be properly copyrighted and protected by copyright law. And there is a real threat from AI, from big data companies, scraping creative content and not providing, proper copyright.
That's a different point.
No, I've asked the government about this on a number of occasions. At first, they were all like, yes, we're going to do the guidelines. My last conversation with Michelle Donnellan about this, rowing right back. They are throwing our creative industry to the wolves, and they don't. They are not driving forward the way that Rishi Sunak. And it kind of implied that he was going to really provide the protections that people need.
Look, I mean, the creative industry point you're making may be valid, but it's a totally different point, if I may say so.
I don't think so. It's all about how seriously the
Online Safety Act, as you know, or should know, gives Ofcom enormous new powers to take action in this area, and I expect them to use them.
All right, let's just show you the election debate happening